Bless all the paths our feet walk to be free. Bless all the paths our feet walk to be free.
Eons ago, when time and space first met, they shook hands with the cosmos and wagered a bet. Time said to space, just wait and you'll see. These beings will come to their true divinity. Space said to time, no, all they'll want is matter, to feed them and fool them and make their purse fatter. So time took no form, while space became physical. Time foretold insightfulness, as space forecasts us whimsical. From a subatomic particle explosion to a sea of cosmic goo, 14 billion years of time is 14 billion years of you. With electrons, protons, and neutrons, particles, neutrinos, and quarks, space remained material to quantify each mark. So time stayed invisible and changed according to space. The laws of density and fabric kept time within its place. Theories of relativity reveal such hidden force, keep galaxies roaming the universe upon their cosmic course. So what really is the measure of time, and how do we define a space? To a childlike humanity or some cerebral alien race? Could time be christened God of Gods, while space be known as the devil? Or could they both be branded balance to keep us wholly level? Electromagnetic repulsion, fermions, bosons, and such will quantumly articulate mechanically that ourselves never really touch. So even when you lovingly bequeath a kiss to my longing face, between your precious lips and mine is still just empty space. But alas, when we take that leap of trust is when time will then stand still. We surrender our hearts to the loving within and caress our own free will. This twinkling of love that grows deep inside, space recognizes will be that single notion that remains quintessential to time's stake in humanity. So as we take a galactic glimpse of this beautiful celestial life, we find the matrimony of space and time to be as a husband and wife. With chaos turned from madness to order and back to chaotic delight, I have to look at Scott. The truth of the God self in our divinity is a heavenly cosmic right. So space will forever continually abide and concede to its ethereal mate. It's all about time, the here and now, as we deal with our incarnate fate. Yet time knows the truth of all that is, as it benevolently grins upon space. To experience it all and feel with our senses, we need this physical place. So a happily ever after do our friends time and space both graciously live, revering respectively, constantly reflecting upon all the gifts they freely give. Recognizing together in true acquiescence that they both have won the bet. The cosmos smiled greatly upon us all when time and space both met.
That was awesome.
Thank you. It didn't go flying out of my mouth. I'm done. So.
So many big weird scientists.
Don't be teaching quantum physics. I'm just learning it, and I've always been attracted to it, and I'm learning it more and more and more. And every step of my journey into quantum physics validates everything I've ever been saying about metaphysics.
Right, exactly.
It's the same.
Yep.
We created a physical universe. A physical universe was created. I'm saying it's we. And from the dawn of time to now, we've been paying attention to physical laws, but we've also been paying attention to metaphysical laws. So as we take this little journey, which was really fun for me to write, I really had a fun time writing this. Again, I won't be explaining fermions and bosons and quarks to people, because half-integer spins and all that kind of stuff is confusing me. I'm still learning. There's so much to learn about physics and quantum physics. But in the New Thought community, a lot of us do believe in the illusion of time and space. We do believe that we are in a physical reality that isn't as physical as we thought it was when we first started walking around in a physical reality. So we've listened. Matter of fact, the very first thing that ever led me to the pod eons ago was the movie What the Bleep Do We Know? All the way back when it wasn't the pod, and it was Unity. And she was at Unity, and Mel was at you. Where are you, Mel? Oh, you're over there. Sound person today, too. Jack of all trades, master of a bunch of them. So that's what attracted me, the movie What the Bleep Do We Know? And then I saw people I knew. And then I heard Mel sing, and I was sold. And that's my story of how I became part of this wonderful community. And as we go more and more in metaphysics and what the bleep do we know, and those different principles that they taught in that movie, we realize that even with the song that Becky sings all the time with the exchanging the molecule song is one of my favorite fun songs, because it's true. I am not myself. I am part of you and you're part of me. I'm part of Mount Rushmore. I'm part of Mars. I'm part of all of it. The dust that we see in our bedrooms that we like, oh man, I gotta dust again. Space dust. Half of the dust that we see is true space dust. It really is space dust. Guess what? We live in space. We're aliens to other people. We're in a planetary being roaming the universe at bazillion miles an hour. And we all know this on the space level. But what is time and what is space? If we look at some of the physics, if anybody's been into cosmos or cosmic energy or anything about astrophysics, you might have heard something called about a black hole. Well, scientists will say that if we could physically view ourselves, as you get closer and closer to a black hole, that time becomes slower and slower and slower until it eventually stands still from the perspective of the viewer. If you were in a spaceship on the event horizon of it, you would still be experiencing time. But as you turned around and looked back at Earth, if you could, you would see millenniums going by in a blink of an eye. This is just part of some of the theories of relativity, the theories of quantum physics and things like that. But we're in a metaphysical world. We're in a physical, metaphysical world. And my whole poem here is that time and space made a bet with us. They made a bet with the cosmos about humans and their divinity, about beings. Actually, I didn't write the word humans, I wrote beings. Because if we think we're alone in this universe, it's kind of an arrogant thought. You know, as narcissistic as we all like to be, because our movie does revolve around us. It does. My movie revolves around me, and you're all the characters in my movie. But your movie revolves around you, and I'm a character in your movie. How am I doing? In your movie. I'm quite a character. Oh, yes. It's okay, I'm a character in my own movie too. Sometimes I want to fire myself from my own movie. Sometimes I want to rewrite my script. And sometimes it gets rewritten for us. But as we're doing this dance with time and space, my contention is I changed time to God and space to the devil for purposes of fun. Because in our world, as we're walking and touching, feeling, physicality, a lot of time in old school religion, I won't even pick one, I'll just say an old school religion, they have taken physicality and made it evil. Sins of the flesh. That sums it up right there. But yet, when we look at time, all we really are is time. That's hence the 14 billion years of the universe is 14 billion years of you. From the nanosecond that we became a physical reality, you were part of it. Whether you remember it, whether you think it, whether you realize it, whether you know it. Every physical atom in the universe is part of you and me. That's what Becky's song was about, with all the molecules. It's a fun, playful song, but it was one of the most true elements of what is in our reality. Even science, just basic biology, will say that every 7 years I shed my epidermis. I shed my layers of skin. So the cells that you're seeing now isn't the cells that you saw 7 years ago. Now, we've talked about cellular memory and why scars still show up, and that's, part of the human condition. We know that happens, so we're programmed to tell our body to regenerate right there in that perfect spot, the scar that was there. And that's a completely different talk, and we've done that talk actually before. But this one's about, well, where are you in this time and space? Where are you in your own time? Where are you in your own space? We've all had a lot of different things happen to us, and some of them have been awesome, and some of them have been horrific. But have you ever noticed how time will change depending upon what's going on in your world? Einstein's theory of relativity in a joking form. If you're kissing a beautiful man or woman, depending on what your flavor is, for an hour, it may seem like a minute. But if you're sitting on a hot stove for a minute, it may seem like an hour. Time is relative. Well, so is it to all the things that we go through. Time and space is relative to each other. And it's been an agreement they've made for this physical form. Because we know as we journey forward and forward that time is really an ambiguous thing. You can't touch it. You can't feel it. But I know that the moments of great woe in my life, it has felt like time has stand still. And I know that in the moments of great love, it's been an even bigger moment of time standing still. Remember when you first met the love of your life, or a past love of life, and you talked all night long to the wee hours in the morning, and you see the sunrise coming up, and you've been on the phone the whole time, and you're like, oh, where did the time go? It went with each other, but you're so excited about it that it just didn't seem like it was passing. That's what presence is. When you're that present with each other, and that's the most present we probably are in a relationship, is when we're first falling in love. All our senses are awakened. All our senses are heightened. Oh, excuse me. Next year we'll get a new pair. But as we do this, there's also space to contend with. There's my space. There's that out. When I first started talking, I kept this thing in front of me. Do you know why I moved it out of the way? Because I'm Italian. Yeah, it's because I talk with my hands. I was hurting myself in the physicality that wasn't really there. Pain's real. I felt it, you feel it. If I step on your toe, she stepped on my toe on the way out. I feel it. The last 7 months with this kind of pain, I felt it. You guys, you don't even need to go through that. You have a headache, have a cramp. Kind of makes that illusion thing kind of seem ambiguous, doesn't it? It just doesn't feel like an illusion. Even if you stub your toe. Raise a hand if anybody stubbed a toe. Doesn't it feel like time stands still when that happens? Matter of fact, it feels like the universe is ending from a pinky toe. Because sometimes we have to get more macro. Because actually our toes represent details in life. That's what in Louise Hay aspect, the details that you're moving forward to in life. So sometimes we pay attention so close to these details that they overwhelm us. Thank God for the cosmos. Thank God for the Hubble Space Telescope. Because before we only had to use our imagination. And as the space program, very tongue-tied today. As the space program has been more and more enhanced, and as technology has been more and more evolved, and we've gotten more and more satellites out in space to see further and further back in time, we get to see the beauty and the wonder of the universe. But when you get to see the beauty and the wonder of the universe, and when you turn around and look and realize we're just that perspective, I just went blank on what it's, the blue dot, what's it called?
Pale blue dot.
Pale blue dot. Okay, it's a perspective of being able to look at Earth, which we've never been able to do before because the satellites weren't out there to turn around and look backwards. Now they are. Now we have Voyager, we have, what are all the things out, man, we have so many things out in space that are still going. And I'm looking to you because I know you know the actual terms of all the programs. But we have Voyager 1 and 2. Isn't 1 passing Pluto?
Oh, Voyager 1's already out of the solar system.
Already out of the solar
It's
system.
interstellar space.
So these things are in our lifetime, guys, to be able to turn around and look back at our planet and see that pale blue dot and know to take a deep breath sometimes and go, wow, I guess my crap doesn't seem as significant when I look from that perspective, that all the woes in my life just don't seem as big when I can turn around and look at the Earth as a pale blue dot and know that there's millions of habitable planets, or habitable, depending where you want to put the accent on the syllable. That sometimes when I look into my own world, my universe, it seems like it's so big. And I very much share what's going on in my world. I have no problems ever sharing the human condition of this particular human. But in this particular human body, sometimes it gets blown out of proportion in my body. And I feel like the weight of the universe is on my little body. This one little human has got the weight of the whole universe, which we know contains sub-universes and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, our brains are going to blow up. We'll just talk about one universe for now. And that all that isn't weighted on me. I'm just simply a part of it. I'm a dot in it. I'm a dot. In the I am thing over there, one of the I ams is I am the dot. Because it's all we really are from that perspective. And it helps us sometimes when our problems are so heavy for us. They seem so, well, big, universal. And that it's going to take a whole lifetime for me to get through these pains. But when I realized that time and space is not really real anyway, that quantum physics and real physics will tell me that this isn't even solid, and that we're all exchanging molecules with each other all the time, that, oh gee, when Jesus said, I am in you and you are in me and we were one with the Father, he meant it, literally. Literally, physically, literally. I am in you and you are in me. We are one. Time. That's all we have is time. That's what God is time. It's a non-touchable thing. And it's there forever, and it's in you, and it can stand still, move forward, speed up, or slow down, depending upon what you're experiencing in the moment. It's one of the most magical elements of the universe, is time. But isn't God, from reading what we believe when we were younger and just had that God notion, wasn't God supposed to be all magical, or omnipotent? Omniscient, blah, blah, blah. Isn't that magic? I looked up the word benevolent a long time ago, and I've said this when I talked about the commitment piece by Goethe. Wolfgang von Goethe wrote a commitment piece. And it says, the moment one commits oneself, then providence moves too. So I looked up the word providence. I knew what it meant, but I wanted to get a clearer definition, and it translated to benevolence. I knew what benevolence meant, but I wanted to get a clearer definition. And when I looked up in that particular dictionary, it translated to magic. The moment one definitely commits oneself, then magic moves too. The entire universe is at our beck and call. And I have to remind myself of this right now. We all have to when we're in our moment of stumbling, or if we're in the square. I like the squares. I'm like, okay, this square has been teaching me a lot of different things, but boy, that square looks really fun. I want to go in that square. But yet the universe won't let me. And I keep trying to go that square, but I hadn't owned this one yet. So as long as I'm willing to own where I'm at, the universe will let me move forward. If I don't, watch what space does to you. It's kind of fun when you think about it, because we talk about coyote and 2x4s, and that's a metaphorical statement, but you ever had a real life 2x4 in your head? I have. You know, we all have. That's space working with you, helping the physical universe to become present in your own time, and all there is now. I'm always going to say that. We all say that, meaning this new thought community, new thought ideas, new thought concepts brings to being present in the now, the moment. So that means time is now. Whenever I experience it, may go fast, may go slow, but it's my experience of it. So you and I could be sitting in the same room. You could be excited. I could be bored. God, this is taking forever. Oh my God, it just zipped by. And those are two humans in the same room at the same event. Wow. Time is magical. So is space. You're going to be singing a song in a moment called Instant Karma's Gonna Get You. John Lennon, I know we're all familiar with that fun song. And it is fun. And sometimes karma does get us instantly when we forget that we're in a physical universe that we created from non-physical rules, or laws, just to get away from the word rules. That the wage that time and space made, blah, 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 a long time ago, was the bet on you. Because time was betting you'd find your divinity, and space was betting you wouldn't, but space really knew you would because it's in you. You are it. It is all around you. So as we continue this journey, and we're walking our walk, and sometimes life gets too hard for us, I invite you to look out into space. Look into the macro. That's what we did on our meditation today. All we did As I said, pretend you're on Earth and pretend you're leaving and going out into the space and just keep going. There's so many different things that can bring us down at any given moment. There's so many different things that can make it look like a mountain just got placed before us and that mountain is immovable. Even though that mountain that's in front of you is moving at light speed through the universe. Well, maybe not the speed of light, but pretty dang fast. And sometimes if you get dizzy, remember how fast the Earth is really spinning, and how fast we are going in a galaxy, and how everything keeps expanding, 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 expanding. So allow yourself to be your own universe and keep expanding. Expand your love, expand your adventures, expand your journey, your wonder, your wide-eyedness, your innocence, your passion for life, your love. And if you really want to see time stand still, look in someone's eyes and stay there for as long as you can. Ahom Tafrasu. Thank you.
Get yourself together. Pretty soon you're gonna be dead. What in the world you thinking of? Laughing in the face of love. What on earth you trying to do? It's up to you. Yeah, you. It's your karma's gonna get you. Gonna look you right in the face. Better get yourself together, darling. Join the human race. How in the world you gonna see? Laughing at fools like me. Who on earth you think you are? A superstar? Well, right you are. But we all shine on like the moon and the stars and the sun. We all shine on. Everyone, come on. It's your karma's gonna get you. Gonna knock you off your feet. Better recognize your brothers. Everyone you meet. Why in the world are we here? Surely not to live in pain and fear. Why on earth are you there? When you're everywhere, gonna get your share. But we all shine on. Like the moon and the stars and the sun. Yeah, we all shine on. Come on and on and on and on. Yeah. All right. Well, we all shine on like the moon and the stars and the sun. Well, we all shine on and on and on. Well, we all shine on like the moon and the stars and the sun. Yeah, we all shine on and on and on and on. Bless all